I know you can hear me. Are you waiting? Oh, no, you can hear me. Oh, Gideon! Oh, dear! I've left it all running, I have. Oh, dear, where is it? I can't find it now. Oh, there it is. Oh, what a plonker that I am. Oh, dear. Oh, well, never mind. Well, I hope everybody's having a lovely day. And this is going to be a 1 hour stream. I promise you this, Tom, because it's Snowflake Show. At, well, it'll be 9 o'clock for you. 10 o'clock for me. It is here in France. Well, in this stream, I want to talk about rejoin the EU. Well, I thought I'd just go through the criteria rejoin the EU. Yeah, I've got it up here, I have. I ain't got that many times soon. Put it like that. Well, first of all, we've got to go to the court of public opinion. Yeah. It appears that public opinion is swaying, though it is, yeah, and the Brexiters, they're saying, well, maybe we should rejoin the EU. Maybe we were lied to. Oh, dear. Oh, well. Well, there you go. You can say that you were lied to, but at the end of the day, the information was there. And we had an option. Well, there was a possibility of having a second referendum, but that ship sailed, didn't it? You know. Can you remember after the EU put out their preparedness notices, pretty much telling us what was going to happen? And it did. Well, that was in May. Oh, crikey, when was that? 2019? Was it May 2019? Or was it 2018? Oh, crikey, I forget now. Anyway, about 6 months later, the UK government decided to do a copy and paste, yeah, and do their own version of the preparedness notices, yeah. It was literally like copy and paste. Except obviously they glitched over some of the bits, really, but that wasn't enough to sway people to say, oh, it's not Project Fair. Well, because everybody says Project Fair. Well, it obviously wasn't, because it's reality now. We're living it. Up we are. Unfortunately, it's not going to be that easy rejoining the EU, because the reason why I did this video, oh, crikey, I just had so many phone-ins today. And some people should already know, or pretty much saying that we could just almost like flick the switch. That ain't going to happen. No. I just can't see it. The idea that we'd get back in the EU on the same terms that we had before, I think that's for the birds. Unfortunately, you know, a little bit naysaying, what have you, but there's going to be a process. It's still possible, but there'll be a process. When you consider it's the average time it takes to actually rejoin the EU is about 9 years. 9 years. Now, I was listening to Tom's Warbrick, radio, yeah, the call-in show on LBC. And he asked people to phone in if your Brexit and change your mind, you want to rejoin the EU. Maybe a referendum within the next 10 years. Oh, crikey, I think to myself, my God, 10 years. But as well as the 9 years ascension period, and that's going to be flipping 19 years. But that'll be it. Or be a test tube or something. You know, put in a glass jar. Yeah. No, probably not. I don't know. Anyway. It appears to me that many people are a little bit deluded about the idea of rejoining. And we have got this rejoin march coming up. I can't remember when it's going to be. I think it's either September, October. Anyway, there's going to be a rejoin march. Hopefully this time it will be, it'll find its way into the media. Because previous marches, they did not. Post-2019, the general election. When Alexander Boris de Pfeffel Johnson, the blonde Boris Mutant Baron, got into power and pretty much took control of the BBC, and they said nothing about them. 100,000 odd people there and said nothing. It's nuts. They constrained the media. In this case, it was the BBC. Are you surprised when they got Tory donors who are in charge in the BBC? No, I'm not. No. Well, I think there's a possibility we might see a little bit more regarding this rejoin march, since there will be more support for it. Even Brexiters are saying that this is not the Brexit I voted for. No, they're not happy with their Brexit. In fact, they're beginning to hate it. Yeah, I've been doing a few videos about that recently, and they certainly are feeling it. Yeah, poor old Brexiters. Anybody would think that they didn't read anything. They didn't do their research. Just like, maybe they just believed everything they were told. Well, maybe, you tell me, I don't know. Yeah, believed all the lies. Didn't do their own research. Well, then quite frankly, it's your fault. Your fault. It's all very well. So I'm hold my hands up. I voted to leave, and that I'm very sorry, but that's you've damaged a lot of people's lives, in relationships and stuff like that. Families are broken down over Brexit. I, for one, wasn't too happy with my father. Lost all respect for him since he voted for Brexit and supported Nigel Farage. Yeah. Heated conversations there, I'll tell you. Well, anyway, he passed. Literally, 2 months after the vote. Just shows, doesn't it, It's nuts. Well, unfortunately for the rest of it, we've got to pick up the pieces. And if that means we've got to rejoin the EU, I think it's, that's what's going to happen. Now, some people are going to say some countries are going to veto, but there is a distinct possibility the veto might be removed very shortly. I'll say shortly, in some period of time. It might be a year, 2 years, or whatever it might be. But it has been talked about removing the veto because it's stopping the powers to be able to get these, the EU to get bills through. And that's kind of, why the UK was a bit of how to put it, a wart. Yeah, when we're in the EU. We caused trouble. That's what we did. We had Nigel Farage there, so what do you expect? That's how it is, I suppose. But this, Defty Boat says I told him so. Well, it was madness. A moment of madness, you could say. The thing is, though, one day we might be able to rejoin, and hopefully we will. Obviously I want to rejoin the EU because my family, my kids and what have you, and you guys are girls, I want a better life for them. Much better life inside than out. And it is. Oh, we've got to see BTPP. Well, it doesn't give you freedom of movement, does it? It doesn't allow you to live, love and work and... Well, I mean, I don't know. Well, in the Pacific. So, it's scuppered us somewhat, and our trading relationship is absolutely diabolical. Farmers are really feeling it. The cost of inputs are kind of through the flippin' roof they have. Absolutely through the roof. Oh, I know, you say, because of Ukraine and what have you. But like I told you before, I've made videos about this before the war in Ukraine, how inputs were going through the flippin' roof for the farmers, post-Brexit. Now, supply chain issues. We've got Richie Sunak today telling everybody how great it is because, you've got efficiency in the workplace. You deserve to have this pay rise. Yes. Pay is going up. Didn't he tell us that was inflationary? I think he did. Yes. Isn't that why the doctors and the nurses and what have you didn't get their pay rises? Because he said it was inflationary. No. Not in public services, it's not inflationary. The inflationary effects of that are tiny. What's more inflationary is the fact that we can't flip and trade properly. We can't get the jobs done. No. We're inefficient because we can't get the materials on time. Now, we import a huge amount of food, we know, but also we import a huge amount of our building materials in the UK. Most of it comes from the EU, from timber to cement. Okay, a lot of the aggregates are sourced in the UK from the pits and what have you. But, most of the cement is from the EU. It's all getting much more expensive now, you see. Haulage costs have gone up. And when you talk about heavy products such as cement, it's a bit costly. Yeah. And that's if you can get a driver. Who wants to go over the channel with the delays as they are? It's a flippin' nightmare. I wouldn't want to do it. No. Flippin' hell. No wonder there's so many... those delays and that. Sitting in the queues and that. Even the Farage garages are closed now. You might be sitting... Still got... They operated... Operation Standstill, I'd call it. But anyway, Operation Something or other. They always all have to pie up them one side and a hard shoulder. If there's a hard shoulder. Well, anyway, they have to wait. So there they are, peeing in wide-neck plastic bottles and pooping in brown paper bags. And then throwing them out of the windows. Lovely. No. Why do people do things like that? I don't know. Well, needs must, I say. You want to stick the cab out, do you? No. You want to wet yourself over? No. Well, unfortunately, the UK is Well, it's pretty, you could say it's hamstrung somewhat. It really is hamstrung. And it's self-inflicted, that it is. Why the hell do they vote for this? It's madness. And the people who are really affected by it are, well, the ones who voted for it. Now, lorry drivers are earning more money. But everything is more expensive. Fuel's more expensive. Obviously, that is the war in Ukraine, obviously. But Richie Sunak tells us increased wages is good. He also says that, we've got growth. And then he says we don't want growth because we want to control inflation. Everything's inflationary at the moment, especially on the supply side. We can't operate properly. No. Anyway, let's have a look at the chat before I get into the article. Because I've only got an hour. Oh, no, 50 minutes now. 49 minutes, I'll make it down. Well, let's make that a bit bigger, shall we? Let's see who we got here. Or maybe not that big. It's not format out to do. All right, here we go. Oh, scroll up. Oh, no, Reagan, I saw a minute ago, buddy. Hello, Joel. Hope you're well. Hey, I should. Here, Marcus. Oh, Reagan, I think, yes. We're here. Vincent Brennan. Oh, okay, he's been cheeky. Just finished dinner and thought I'd see if there's anything worthwhile on the web. And apparently not. He's been cheeky, he is. Cheeky fella. And Lefty Boater. Hello there, hope you're well. What's occurring? Well, people want to rejoin. Even Brexiters. Yeah. Scrolling down. Hello, Hans Vastenvon. Oh, London. Oh, it's in London, the 23rd of the 9th, September. 23rd of September, 2023. Cheers for that, Hans. Told him so, says Lefty Boater. Vendetta says, I won't ever forgive them for what they did. I think it's very hard because the damage they've caused. I know some people who follow me on this channel, and there's pretty much damaged or broken up their families. You know, they don't get on like they did once before. You know, it's destroyed some families. You know, God, could you imagine it? Pillow talk and all that. Oh my goodness, it'd be pretty aggressive. It's like cheating on the missus. It is. Don't do it. No. And a big Ernie, hope you well. A country can decide on its own to leave the EU. In contrast, if a country wishes to join or rejoin the same thing, it needs a unanimous support of all EU countries. That veto, though, could be lost. They're talking about it in the EU at the moment to get rid of the veto, because it's the one thing that stops what the bill's going through. So maybe just majority vote, maybe. The rejoin can debate in the UK, thus equals shouting in the political echo chamber, and it will go nowhere for a decade or two at least. It's going to be, some people are saying it's going to be 10 years before we even get a referendum vote, or even put in the manifesto maybe. But then it takes about, on average, it's been 9 years for ascension. But first things first, we've got to put Article 49. And then the EU, well, they will get together and create the negotiation mandate, for which we'll just have to abide by. Meanwhile, we have to make sure that all our laws comply with EU laws. Okay, we rolled a load of those over. Some of them still apply, but some of them don't. And also, we've damaged our status because of these trade deals. We've got to renege on most of those, you know. Luckily, the Australian trade deal's got a 6-month get-out clause in it. You're given 6 months notice. That's possible. I don't know about New Zealand, I don't know about the others. Then you've got the CPTPP as well. It's none of that stuff really, you know, is going to make it very easy for us. And then we've got all this going on at the moment regarding human rights and the way everybody's talking in government at the moment. I think when Labour gets in, I think that'll be a little bit different, though, to be fair. But the ECHR and what have you, and the rhetoric flying about at the moment is just nasty. It's just nasty. You get people calling on the radio shows, man, like LBC. Oh, just push them back, you know. Sink them. You know, in their little boats and what, sink them. Oh, they're economic migrants they are, you know. But, the EU, as in Brussels, those in control, I suppose. Although, again, there is a parliament, EU parliament, and, there is MEPs. Yeah. Oh, it is democratic, isn't it? Oh, yeah, I forgot, yeah. Well, obviously, they're not going to say you can't. They're gonna look at it and they're gonna say, "Do you are you serious about it?" So it's gonna take a while to get that, to change the mindset of the people, isn't it, as well? But the only way that's gonna happen is with pain. That's the way I see it. I just think we're gonna have to feel a lot more pain in the United Kingdom before we get anywhere near rejoining the EU. Because the first things first, we're gonna have to have a referendum vote, really, aren't we? We need to have a consensus to do so, to start that process. So either a referendum vote, or like I said, go about having it in the manifesto. Let's say, for argument's sake, Labour put it in the manifesto. Well, then obviously you're giving them carte blanche to do so. There'll still be a load of script in Parliament, have you, and all the ERG and all them that they will start kicking off again. You haven't given enough time for it to work and all that sort of stuff. What? 7 years? Isn't that enough time? How long have we got to wait? What? Another 47? Maybe. Oh, just ask Jake Rees-Mogg, he knows. Well, yeah, speak of the devil. I've got that video, that clip there. But yeah, it's going to take a long time. Anyway, I have got the steps of rejoining the EU, the official ones from the actual EU website. So I'll go through that. Might skip over a few bits because some bits are a bit, mind-numbing. But basically, we've got to show willing, and we've got to comply. At the moment, we don't. We did, obviously, because we were in it. But even when we're in it, there's certain elements of it that we're pushing the boundaries. But some other countries do as well. France does the same. They all push the boundaries of being a membership of the EU. Look what's going on in Hungary at the moment. Hungary keeps getting their funding. Any monies from the EU, they keep getting it curbed, don't they? Well, they don't get it. So that's just one of those things, isn't it? We just got to go through the process. But first of all, we're going to have to get that court of public opinion on our side. That's what we're going to do. And if anyone don't know, I'll be clocking off at 9 o'clock your time in the UK, so it's 10 o'clock in the EU, because the Snowflake Show will be coming on at 10. So there's also EFTA as well. There's another option. Is our fastest route? Because as long as you can comply with EFTA, you can pretty much join EFTA. That gives you about 27 or 29, 27 or 20 free trade agreements with the EEC. So it's in some ways I think that's at the moment is our best option. Still will take time. It's not going to happen overnight, but it's definitely the fastest route to be able to trade more freely than we are at the moment. That's the real thing that's killing us at the minute, is not being able to trade. And you still obviously got bank passport and memorandum of understanding. That's going to cripple us. But if we're going to rejoin the EU, obviously it isn't rejoin, is it? Let's be honest, it's not rejoining the EU, it's joining the EU, because we're going to start from scratch. Pretty much we're going to be starting from scratch. So, Vendetta says EFTA isn't an option. What is the reasoning for that? I did actually see something about that before. Vendetta says, Phil says we must say bye to the CPTPP crap. That's not going to do us any good anyway. The CPTPP, all it will do is help them export. It's not going to help us export. But we're already getting stuff through the CPTPP already coming our way. We're not going to benefit from it. Not for us anyway. Maybe the services, possibly. But don't forget, these places are already sorted out. They've already got, all their ducks in a row already. We're just like this wart on the side that just wants to have a bit of their business. That's all we are. Unless we've got something new to offer. Can't see it. Big Only says, my best guess is that the Labour will not dare to actively push for joining anytime soon. I don't think so either, I agree. Especially with the rhetoric that's going on at the moment. Make Brexit work. That's just nuts. The best chance for the UK to join the EU might be a future Conservative government. Well, I'll tell you something, we need some different Conservative MPs then, because this lot, well, they're just shameful. They're a decent one amongst them. All the ones that had any kind of empathy for anybody, they're all gone. They weren't perfect. The Ken Clarks and all that, and was it Churchill's grandson? For his name though, but they all voted for crap. Make our lives worse. I can't see it being a Conservative government either. We're not going to be joining because we want to rejoin. We're going to be joining because we've got no choice. And that means we need to feel the pain. That's what I think. Anyway, it's just my feeling about it. We're going to have to see a darn sight more pain in the UK than we're seeing at the moment before we get anywhere there. And then we haven't really got much to bargain with anyway. So we'll be accepting every goddamn thing that the EU wants. Maybe that's the right thing. No, Ukraine. Ukrainian is right. That Ukraine's doing ascension. They've started the first stage. So a few countries actually doing ascension. I can't remember what they were now. I think one's Albania. Actually, I can find. I'll show you. Actually, that's the best way of doing that. Let's have a look. That's what we'll do. I'll block that one. Oh my god! Oh, crikey. Join the EU. There we go. Albania, Bosnia. Oh, I didn't need that one. Herzegovina, Moldova, Montenegro, North Macedonia, Serbia, Turkey, and Ukraine. Ukraine's obviously recent. They were very happy the fact they accepted for ascension. But it's going to take for them. For Ukraine, it could be 10 years. You see, and that's going to be after the. Well, will it be after? Well, not much happening at the moment. But any day they're going to have to. Countries like Ukraine, they don't take so long. Countries like the UK are really complicated. It's a complicated process, especially because we've already got things in so many flipping pies, and we're going to have to get ourselves in line with the EU again. Not impossible, I don't think. It's not impossible, but we were saying that Big Only was saying, we need. Vendetta was saying that was it Vendetta? I can't remember now. Who was it now? I can't remember. Oh, not Marcus R. No, Kool-Aid. No, I forgot what I was saying now. I've lost the plot. So potential candidates are Georgia and Kosovo as well. Turkey going to be joining. There might be an ascension, but that's going to be donkey's years before they get anywhere near joining the EU. Turkey's inflation is horrendous. So it makes sense for them to have better trading relations with other countries. But at the moment they're the ones who are taking in the refugees. Most of the refugees, 3.5 million. When you look at what the UK doesn't even come on the list hardly of how many refugees that we've taken in the UK. EU countries are way up there. Germany's done. God, it's been amazing, really. The problem I see though is I don't want to be negative towards taking in refugees and what have you. It's the right thing to do. But it does get, crikey, it gives fuel to the fire, doesn't it? And you get the rise of the right as a result. That's my worry. You get people like this cretin here. I'm going to have to show you this. Vince, I just mentioned about refugees. Is that the right one? Oh, here we go. So, okay, let's watch this. Does anyone know James Whale? Oh my God, that geezer! He's foul. He's so foul. Let me just make it a bit bigger for you. There you go. Can I squeeze in there? Hello. I'll bring a bit smaller. There you go. That'll do. That'll do. There we go. There he is. This is just shocking.
A British Bill of Rights.
Yep.
Trevor Kavanagh's piece of Thought in the Sun today was fantastic.
I did.
We've got to do something about criminal gangs. We've got to do something about these illegal routes. But James Whale, the British people have had enough. Whatever that people say about all rhetoric, I don't want to see people die in the Channel. I think it's disgusting, right? But we need to do something, and we need to do it quick.
Sadly, people die all over the world, and I can never. I'm sorry about it. It sounds terrible. What someone's going to say. I don't know. These people don't want their families or anything else. And quite frankly, there are more people dying on the roads. I'm worried about them. I am concerned that these people who are called migrants are nothing more than criminals. They are not migrants at all. They are paying enormous amounts of money to criminal gangs to criminally come to this country, and who knows what they're going to do. Most of them seem to be breaking the law, running rackets. If this was, I said this before, if this was a land border, we would have the military there stopping people breaking in. We have a moat around this country. we should be able to deal with this quite easily. We should have the Navy in the Channel. We should be pointing our weaponry at these people coming here illegally. This country can't cope. And this, whatever any of my friends here say, this is how the majority of people in this country feel.
I think that's absolutely shocking. That geezer should be nowhere near the media. And he's got his own show on the Talk TV as well. He is just, well, he's foul. Absolutely foul. And that's James Whale. And he does have his own show, like I say, on Talk TV as well. That's the kind of people, that we'll have to fight in regard and trying to win over the idea of another referendum to rejoin the EU. Well, don't get me wrong, I don't think that they've happened in my lifetime anyway, so I would love it to. I really would. I'd be foolish not to, but I can't see it happening. I just can't. It's going to be a long, long process. But will it happen? Like I say, I think it depends whether you feel enough pain. Unfortunately, that's painful. But what a horrible cretin that is, eh? Let's get back on the chat, see what you have to say. What do you think about that geezer? Lovely, isn't he? Yeah. James Whale the Wire has a scrotum for a neck. Oh. I thought James Whale had died. It turns out it's just his career as a lefty voter. He's pretty awful regarding trans issues as well. He's just foul, absolutely foul. Oh my God, he put he had a picture of himself in the flipping spa, and he said, "Join me on the Talk TV, blah 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 blah," and he looked like a flipping beach ball in a spa. That's what he looked like. Oh crikey, a boiled egg, a giant boiled ostrich egg. It's just horrible, absolutely horrible. Currently Turkey, I can't talk. I've got a bit of hair, but not a lot though. It's all there, but there you go. There is hair under the hat. Helps hold the hat on, you see, have a bit of stubble. Currently, Turkey is way closer to EU membership than the UK. Do you know what, Big Early? I think you're probably right, buddy. I think you're probably right. At least they're in ascension. That's the first stage, isn't it? They're in ascension. I think Ukraine's probably closer as well. Hello, Derek McCall. I hope you're well. Just saw this in the sidebar on YouTube. And hi, all. Dropping a like, but got to catch up with the whole thing later. Okay, my friend Derek McCall. I'm going to get into the main video, the article in what's that article? It's the doc thingy on the EU Commission website. So hello, David. Joel, the UK will have the criteria to join in less than 6 months. It's becoming a poor country, more poor than Ukraine. I think it's heading that way. Oh dear, shameful. Hello, Pete Dulles, hope you're well. And the journalists at KGB News will laugh their heads off how anyone could possibly die due to heat, as they did already. Yes. Well, people are falling like flies with this heat at the moment. It's been flipping hot today, I'll tell you. Crikey. Working in the garden, went in the workshop in the end because it's cooler in there, made a couple pair of shutters. So Albania, Moldova and Ukraine will get in and the rest probably never. Yeah. I can't see Turkey getting in. They're human rights abusers and it's not going to happen. But there again, so are we. Well, that's where we're heading. If we get rid of the flipping European Convention of Human Rights, well then, that's for hiding, aren't we? And then you've obviously got the Belfast Accord then as well. Everything that's going to go tits up. I just worry what's next for these Tories. What are they going to try and push through next? The bills they've been pushing through, and Labour's saying they're not going to get rid of them. They are shocking. The one that really concerns me, and most people aren't interested in, is the online safety bill. I think that is going to destroy businesses. I really do. That is going to be a killer. You all thought the GDPR was bad. No, this thing is just going to... No. It's going to make it impossible. No one will want to operate in the UK when this thing's go. They won't want to. They think, no, we don't want all these fines. We don't want all this hassle now. Now there's countries that are, there's businesses already. Like for instance, here in the EU, I mentioned just before actually, Rumble doesn't operate here in France. just basically a video platform, which is a bit of they call it free speech, but it's a lot of far-right nutters on there. But also, well, who else was there? You got Signal, WhatsApp, and Macintosh saying they will withdraw their services from, Apple, I don't know, whatever the Apple chat thing is. They're saying to withdraw their services from the UK. They don't have no choice. They won't be able to operate under the terms of this bill. Maybe that will scare the government and say, hang on, if they do actually withdraw, at the moment, I think they're playing they're just playing chicken at the moment, and just calling their bluff, calling their bluff. So, yeah. Most of the gammon you would be dead of heart attacks at the record highs with the heat. Oh, I get your point now, yeah. Hello, XCX. Unfortunately, it will take a financial crisis for the politicians in the UK to have a serious conversation about the EU. But we're heading that way now. We're on the verge of recession. I think technically we're not in a recession if you're talking about 2 quarters of negative growth. But I believe we're actually in a recession. It's about how much money people got to spend. They ain't got it. They ain't got the money to spend. So what they're doing is they increasing interest rates we have has curbed our spending somewhat, but we've got a problem with supply chain. We've got a supply side shock. And the biggest supply side shock we've got in the UK is people. We don't have enough people. People are playing musical chairs from job to job to job, whoever pays more. It's getting nuts. It's getting nuts. So anyway, let's get into what I want to talk about anyway. And that button, that one, that's the one. And that one there. Okay, so we've got...
In December, I'll be in Beijing, opening up new pork markets.
She's partly to blame. Stupid idiot. Crikey, these people. Shall I press the right button? There you go. Oh my God, what's happened to that? It looks huge. Why is that huge? Oh, so I moved it over, didn't I? That's why. I moved it over. There you go. Let's bring that down here. Okay, so we know, I mentioned them earlier, Albania, Bosnia, Moldova, Montenegro, North Macedonia, Serbia, Turkey, and Ukraine. And then you've got the potential candidates as well, which is Georgia and Kosovo. It basically means they're vast. And the EU said, okay then. XCX says, to be honest, I've bailed out and I'm now working in the EU. Well done, buddy. I'm in the EU too. I'm in France. Lovely here, you know. Lovely countryside that it is. Oh, he said, David says, Marcus, sing with me. Always look on the bright side of life. Dunna, 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 dunna. Anyway, this is the article I want to, or the document, or the instruction, or the how to join the European Union. So steps is in the EU website, the EU Commission website, and it is. I'll bring it down a bit so you can see. There you go. So not peeing up your back. So European neighbourhood policy and enlargement negotiation. Ooh, enlargement. Oh, I need that. Yeah. So steps towards joining. So when the country is ready, yeah, it can become an official candidate for membership. Basically, they apply for censure. There's Article 49 they've got to do. So the candidate then moves, the candidate country then moves into formal membership negotiations. The process that involves the adoption of established EU laws. Basically, all your laws have to be EU laws, or they have to comply, whatever laws they are. And so it's administrative, economic, judicial, implementation of judicial, administrative, economic and other reforms necessary for the country to meet the conditions for joining, known as the accession criteria. Now, when negotiations and the accompanying reforms have been completed to the satisfaction of both sides, the country can then join the EU. We're way off that now. We really are. So membership negotiations in detail. Oh, God. Some bits I might skip. So, sides, 25 minutes ago. Okay, 25 minutes. Ooh. Okay. So membership negotiations cannot start until the EU government agrees in the form of a unanimous decision by the EU Council on the framework or mandate for negotiations with the candidate country. The negotiations take place between ministers and ambassadors of the EU governments and a candidate country in what is called the Intergovernmental Conference. Oh, sounds painful. Negotiations under each chapter are based on the following elements. Screening. Yeah, that's an annual examination, that is. Yeah, so I've heard, yeah, apparently. Yes, probe. Anyway, the Commission carries out a detailed examination together with the candidate country of each policy field to determine how well the country is prepared. And the findings by chapter are presented by the Commission to the Member States in the form of a screening report. And the conclusion of this report is a recommendation of the Commission to either open negotiations directly or to require that certain conditions, opening benchmarks, should first be met. So the first thing, obviously, we should have all our ducks in a row first, otherwise we're going to go around in circles. And that happens. You know, Croatia recently joined in. I think it was 2013 they joined, Croatia. Took a while, didn't it? I think, there you go. I think it was one of the quicker ones, though. Negotiating positions. It's not in the Kama Sutra. No, don't go there. Don't do it. Well, before the negotiations can start, the candidate country must submit its position, page 69, and the EU must adopt a common position. I suppose that was 60. Anyway, and for most chapters, the EU will set closing benchmarks in this position, which need to be met by the candidate country before negotiations in the policy field concerned can be closed. I'm giddy out. I've got to go into chapters. I'm giddy out. I get confusing. So for chapter 23 and 24, the Commission is proposing that in the future these chapters would be opened on the basis of action plans with interim benchmarks to be met based on their implementation before closing benchmarks are set. The pace of the negotiations, that depends on the speed of reform and alignment with EU laws in each country. The duration of the negotiations can vary, starting at the same time as of another country. There's no guarantee of finishing at the same time. No, it could take longer. And I think we've got one thing that's going to really make it very difficult is the pound. Oh, some people are going to be very nostalgic about their pound. Yeah, not pound and shillings. You know, pound and shillings, not no, pounds and ounces. Well, they're pretty sensitive about that as well, aren't they? Still haven't got our crown stamp on the pint glass and the Wetherspoons. No. So, concluding the negotiations. Yeah, concluding negotiations. Closing the chapters. No negotiations on any individual chapter are closed until every EU government is satisfied with the candidate's progress in that policy field, as analysed by the Commission. Now, I'm thinking to myself, my giddy aunt, maybe Spain might be a little bit awkward because of Gibraltar. Yeah, because of Gibraltar. They're having scuffles at the moment, aren't they? But certain things. Well. And the whole negotiation process is only concluded definitively once each chapter has been closed. It's like closing drawers, I suppose. So the Accession Treaty. Now, this is the document that cements the country's membership of the EU. It contains the detailed terms and conditions of membership, all transitional arrangements and deadlines, as well as details of financial arrangements and any safeguard clauses. Obviously, there's going to be a fee. Well, we're not going to get the preferential treatment that we had before. No. Oh, there. It's going to be more costly. God, you know what? We could... Instead of 350 million a week for the NHS, maybe. Yeah, crikey, anyway. It's not final and binding until it wins the support of the EU Council and the Commission and the European Parliament, is signed by the candidate country and representatives of all existing EU countries. It's ratified by the candidate country and every individual EU country according to their constitutional rules. Parliamentary vote, referendum, etc. And a seeding country. Oh, referendum. Okay. Are they saying they could do a referendum against the UK joining the, or any country joining the EU? Is what they're saying there. Oh, anyway, so once the treaty is signed, however, the candidate becomes an acceding country, which means it's expected to become a full EU member on the date laid down in the treaty, providing the treaty has been ratified. Now, if, for instance, we do have to give up our pound, at what point does that happen? Would that have to be done in like 6 months or something? Or, because you're not going to give the pound up before, are you? You know, do you have to be in the? I don't know. I didn't know this actually. Do you have to be in the EU to be part of the Eurozone? I thought you would have to be. So in the interim, it benefits from special arrangements such as being able to comment on draft EU proposals, communications, recommendations, or initiatives, and active observer status on EU bodies and agencies. And it is entitled to speak but not vote. Oh, a bit like it is at the moment, isn't it? We don't even have a seat at the table. We can't even speak. We can shout from the fringes. That's what we can do. No, special process for the Western Balkans. Okay. The EU's relationship with the Western Balkans countries take place within special framework known as the Stabilisation and Association Process. It has 3 aims: stabilising the countries politically and encouraging their swift transition to the market economy. Promoting regional cooperations, eventual membership of the EU. Obviously, that's not the UK. So the country is offered the prospect of membership, and it becomes a potential candidate. And this means it should be offered official candidate status when it is ready. The process helps the countries concerned build their capacity to adopt and implement EU law, as well as European and international standards. You know, like the CE mark and no UK CA mark. Oh no, they cancelled that one, didn't they? Oh, what about the EU reach? Oh yeah, and UK reach. Oh, what's happened about that yet? Well, anyway, whether be part of the EU reach again, which will save a lot of grief, especially for the animals not being tested on. That'd be good. So it is based on an ever closer partnership with the EU, offering a mixture of trade concessions, duty-free access, etc. to EU markets, economic and financial assistance for reconstruction, development and stabilisation and association agreements, and a far-reaching contractual relationship with the EU, entailing mutual rights and obligations. I tell you what, they're also going to want to make sure is that we have a stable democracy in the UK as well. They're definitely going to want that. They want to see what's going on at the moment. Oh my God. Well, each country moves step by step towards EU membership as it fulfills its commitments in the stabilisation and association process, and the Commission assesses progress made in annual progress reports published each autumn. Oh, got key links there. Key links, yeah. I did it. I got to the end. Oh, well, it's not going to be easy, is it? There's going to be lots of little box ticking going to have to be done. And there's going to have to be a lot of box unticking that's going to have to be done, such as all these dodgy old trade deals. Yeah, anyway, so who's in the comments? What's saying in the comments, Siri? What's time now? It's got 15 minutes. Oh, doing well. Oh, I'm actually going to finish something. I hope, for a change. So I'm going to scroll up a little bit and we'll go through the comments. Where are we at? Okay, Abdul Abner. Hello there. Rejoining won't happen in my life. I don't think it happened in my lifetime. I don't know what your lifetime is. Worse, genuine socialist Labour Party won't happen in my either. That is concerning. That is concerning. We don't have a proper socialist. Well, we don't. It's not social. You're not trying to tell me Labour's socialist, are you? Really? Not now. I will. Anyone who tells me that the Tories are worse than Labour, that Labour's as bad as the Tories. That's what I'm trying to say. Sorry, we know. Anyway, I think that's for the bird. That's silly. Keir Starmer is not a Richie Sunak. You might not agree with him, and you might not like what he's coming out of his mouth, because I'd blink well don't. But he's not a Richie Sunak. There's no comparison. Richie Sunak is bent as 9 bob note. He really is. So we are poorer than Mississippi. That's right. That's what they said, wasn't it? They slipped that one out, didn't they? That was funny. If you take London out of the mix, yeah, we're poorer than the Mississippi. London, everyone complains about London because obviously there's a massive divide and what have you regarding monies across the country. But London is the one thing because it's the city. It's banking, services and stuff like that. Obviously, you know, they congregate in one place. You don't spread them about, even if you want to be able to. Like in this day and age, you should be able to operate relatively easily, boy, spreading across the country, really. But, you know, what was it, 10% of GDP or something like that, isn't it? You know, what happens when we lose bank passport in 2025? So, yeah. 35 degrees today in central Prague. Oh, boy, giddy aunt. That's a bit toasty. Yeah, I heard it was very, very warm in 30s, I think it was, in Poland as well. I had to have 10 beers just to cool off. You got to do it, you see. What am I drinking today, then? I am drinking. Don't panic. And it's an IPA, and it's a light beer, 6.5%. You know it is here. Yeah. And it's one that's gifted me from my son on my birthday. He got me all the beers. It was really cool, unusual beers. So I normally get all the cheap shit, you see. So it's quite nice when people give me stuff that's nice. Then the problem is, though, when you have a cheap shit, you kind of realise, oh, that's cheap shit. Not sheep shit. Cheap shit. Oh, boy, cheap beer. That's it. Blah, 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 blah. Getting tongue-tied here, that I am. So, it's time we've got 13 minutes. So, Paul, David's Drago says, Lefty Paul, but still humble. Keep the head up, mate. You got to, my buddy. If they drop out of the ECHR, I'm fleeing. The country says lefty voter. Obviously, I understand why. Do you know what? I find that quite painful. You know, when people feel in fear of some right nasty buggers out there, and you feel suppressed by them, and some people don't even want to go outside because of it. You know, they just don't want. They just don't want to communicate. Yeah, just don't want to engage with people. So they push back from it. And just and become a bit reclusive. And I suppose I've done that. I've got this channel. I'm in the middle of nowhere, me. We don't see many people. No, we get 3 or 4, maybe 5. Some days you might get 6 cars come down our road. That's about it. What's up, Wally? What are you barking about? I've got a Wally here now. I wonder if I can show you my little Wally. Alright, it's time. Press. I need to put the other camera on. Hang on, have I got the other camera here? No. Stream cam. Oh, what are you doing up there? Oh, there he is. Do you want a treat, Wally? Alright, Wally, what a treat. You good? Turn around. That's a good boy. He's my little buddy. Aren't you, fella? Huh? He's my bestest friend, he is. He is. Up there, okay. Well. Right. Oh, dear. So, some good news. Junior doctors in Scotland have voted continuously to accept the... What will pay? Oh, God, she thinks she's left out. I've got my Dora. Oh, I can see you there. She's black, so she's like camouflaging. You got to go for it, girl. You can't expect me to... I didn't expect me to move. Blimey, cheeky devils. Anyway, so some good news. The junior doctors in Scotland have voted conclusively to accept the latest payoff. Excellent. But they've paid reparation, what have you, done over a period of time, haven't they? You know, the door's still open for them. So a consultative vote saw 81.64% vote in favour of the offer. Oh, that's good news. Turnout was 71. Cool, that's a good turnout. That's pretty good, isn't it? That is good. What's happening in England then? Well, why nobody with common sense in the UK reverse Brexit? I know. There's no one in power. But I'll tell you what, if we get public opinion, any government's in power, and anyone who wants to be in power is going to have to follow suit. After all, public opinion is your vote, isn't it? You know, at the moment, the only reason why Labour's going to get in, I think, is because they don't want Tories. They're like the default party. Yeah. Oh, too far again, aren't I? Hold on. If the UK government did not even read the leave agreement, how are they supposed to read all of that. Do you know what? Even I read a lot of that blinking thing. Not all of it. Only things that obviously affected me and things I found interesting. It was nuts. And when we got, what was her name again? Oh, crikey. Have I got that on there? No, I haven't. Ask Pity. You got, what was her name again? Oh my God, I can't remember her name now. It's just, when she said that, didn't have time to read the withdrawal agreement because I was busy doing a nativity. You know, at Christmas. What? Really? It's just nuts. Absolutely. These people are flipping out of their mind. And they're running it's ruining the country. Oh, yeah. Very good point, Joel. What's time? David Jarago, months, no, but years, less than a decade, perhaps. It's 9 years just to get through Ascension. That's the average. So we've got to get to the point of actually doing Article 49, haven't we? It's not going to be a case of just flipping the switch, is it? I don't think so. Hey, Lars Ellerhorst. It's not only a referendum in each country. In fact, in Belgium, the regions must agree. Blimey. Really? It's going to be like a college vote. Peters, you are probably right. Maybe put some pictures in it for them to understand. Maybe it's like a storyboard. Oh dear, I'll tell you something, our reputation in the UK ain't great though, is it? It really isn't. The sad thing is though, because I get a lot of obviously comments and that, and people say to me, oh, I'm glad you're out, stay out and all that sort of stuff. There's a large proportion of the population actually fairly decent people, This is a real minority. You got the loudest people out there. You obviously got the people who didn't bother to even do any research. That's just stupid. But, you got a huge amount of people out there who worked very, very hard to thwart Brexit, They did. There is good people in England, and in the UK as a whole. Okay, most of them in Scotland, it seems. Sorry. but we're not all bad. There's some nasty creds. Crikey, there's some really horrible people in England, but there is horrible people everywhere. There really is. I've seen my fair share of them here in France, some real nasty cretins. French and English. This is how it is, isn't it? They're everywhere. The problem is they're rising. The right is rising. A bit like pension, what's the saying, if there's if you push in one direction, the pushback is sort of equal or greater, or something like that. I can't remember what the phrase is now. But obviously, it's that pushback is going to be for the right, and they just get louder and louder and louder. And they've got the loudest voices, the most angry voices. The things they say and do, they do sound stupid as well. I must admit, there's no logic in what half of them say. It's just nasty. But they're easy, they're lemons, aren't they? And they're sheeple. And they're easy to manipulate, these people are. They're easy. The only thing is, there's many of us on the left are politically lazy as well. Many of us are, can't be dealing with that. I used to be politically lazy. I'm not since Brexit, obviously, but, I just didn't. All I was interested in is making sure I could feed my family. Get a roof over their head. Stuff like that. What you're supposed to do, I suppose, but politically, I wasn't active at all. Brexit kind of done that, or the run-up to Brexit. Really, since, actually, more with the Scottish referendum, right? I think really from about 2010, I started getting a bit more active with politics and stuff like that, and I had to take more of an interest when I read. Actually, I was over here, so, Scroll down. Going to shop, no mother, to be ripped off by a smiling shopkeeper. Okay. Cannot see notifications. Oh no. Says, I've got 36 people. That's all right. As a last minute stream, I just thought because Snowflake show is going live, I thought I'd just warm up. The UK only had access to single market and the customs union by being a part of the EU. Legally, under so-called continental law, this is not a PIC type of a PIC type of agreement. Or do you mean PIC? Okay. Just have to boy mode it and what? What's that about? The English lads come to Prague, get drunk, loud, chant football songs, harass local women, and act like they own the place. Not a good look. Many EU member states now, whether it be whether it's Portugal, whether it's Spain, France, they're pushing back now, and obviously in the Netherlands as well. They're pushing back against British tourism, especially amongst the youngsters. They're gonna get tough on this sort of what they call antisocial behaviour, which is antisocial behaviour. It's flipping awful. It makes everyone look bad. That's the problem with Brexiters, isn't it? It's the problem with these nasty people. They make us all look bad. Every single Brit gets tarnished with the same brush. If you keep calling yourself an expat, I think you deserve it. But there you go. Hello, Casper. Do. Hope you're well, my friend. Casper Northerner's in the house. Tom Finney. Scrolling up. We've got 3 minutes. 3 minutes. Hello, number 3. Hope you're well. I was wondering how to respond to you. That must be stressful. Yeah, it's not very easy. You know what stress is like, number 3. Is some things are really, really hard to deal with. Especially if you're surrounded by nastiness, it's not easy, is it? And I was kind of bullied a bit at school, and I had to toughen up. I really had to toughen up, but it's not everybody can do that, Yeah. Okay, when I was trying to toughen up, I used to get beaten up, but there you go. And then I started to get tougher, and then the worm turned, and then there's respect. That's how it always be at school. It's not like that these days. No, everyone's just nasty online, aren't they? And you school bullies and stuff like that, and then you get young girls then committing suicide. It's flipping horrendous. I want to know where the parents are in all this. It's like what's going on in the UK with all this TikTok craze going on. Where, meet at Oxford Street or wherever it is, Regent Street. I don't know what street it is. I think it's Oxford Street. Anyway, and then they run amok. Now, when I was a boy, we had a village bobby, we had a village bobby on a bush bike. His name was, I've forgotten, PC Jenkins. Yeah, PC Jenkins. And I think I did video about this earlier, actually. And if you messed up, if you're a naughty boy, he'd get you by the scruff of the neck, scruff of the neck or by your ear. He'd drag you home. Yeah, to your home. Not to his home, because it's a bit weird. Anyway, drag you to your home. Very right, used to be on the old police houses. That's where we used to live in. The police used to have their own houses. The police houses then. A bit like council houses, but for the police. Anyway, you drag it home, take it home to your parents, and the parents would reprimand you. They were the days when you get a clip around the ear. You get punished. I'm not saying, I don't agree with physical punishment of any kind with kids and stuff. I don't think that's the way forward. But the threat was there, you see. The threat was there. And because of that, we sort of a bit of fear. And it's kind of control through fear. And it sounds horrible, doesn't it? But that's how it was then. That's how it was. When I was going through school, what have you, we had Mr. Frost, who was one of the teachers in primary school. And he had the slipper. Didn't hurt or anything like that. It was just the so-called humiliation of it. But as naughty boys, we thought we've got to get the slipper. It's like a badge of honour. Anyway, 1 minute to the Snowflake Show. So let's get the hello. Is it? Did you see Madge? Hello, Madge. Hope you're well. Don't worry. Though we can just rejoin the single market for now, and then full membership in the EU later. Well, we'd hope so. Maybe. I don't know. I don't think it's as simple as that. I wish it was. So right. I got to find Snowflake Show for you, so I'll put the link in. Unless somebody's already got it. If Reagan's there, if he's already got the link there, chuck it in. Chuck it in the comments, please, in the chat. So if not, I'll find it and I'll chuck that in. Is that the did you just do it, P. Dallas? Or I missed something? Is that it? And there it is. Well done. Thank you very much. Cheers, P-Dance. Much appreciated. I didn't have to look. Oh, it looks like they're live. Okay, go over to the Snowflake Show. P.E. Dance has left it in the chat down below. Hello, Nico. You well, my friend. And Pork, Mark, Moffat. Hope you're well. I'm actually clocking off now. Because I'm kind of, well, stepping on the toes of the Snowflake Show, and I don't want to do that. So, yeah, anyway, over to the Snowflake Show, and I hope you all have a good time. There, I'll see you in the chat. Yeah, that's all I'm going to do. Yeah, okay. All right, yeah, okay. Yeah. All right, are you still there? Ta-ta, and have a lovely day. I could actually put the Snowflake Show in my screen, but no, I won't do that.